we are live on TikTok, YouTube, as well as Facebook. And this promises to be an exciting episode of the Our Media Transfer Corner. We'll take a look at the marquee transfers or the biggest transfers in Europe. Already we are hearing that Conor Gallagher has signed for Atletico Madrid, and then also Chelsea has also ended up signing Spanish youngster, 20-year-old Samu Omorodion for £35 million. So it looks more like a swap deal when we saw Conor Gallagher move to the Spanish capital. This time not joining the Los Blancos, but rather joining Atletico Madrid, and then Samu Omorodion also signed a 7-year deal with Chelsea at a tender age, or just a youngster, just 20 years of age. He was with the Spanish national team during the Olympics, which is still ongoing, I should put it. But also Julian Alvarez, after joining Manchester City a couple of years ago, just 2 years actually, he's won 2 Premier League trophies. He's won the UEFA Champions League, FIFA Club World Cup, and other trophies. He's saying that he's tired of being on the bench and not being a big game player, because every time there's a big game, Pep Guardiola opts to play Erling Haaland, and now he has forced himself out of Manchester City, and he's on the verge of joining Atletico Madrid for a total package of over 95 million euros. That's why some profits Manchester City are making over there. So, we have quite a lot we are bringing to you in the transfer corner. David De Gea, we are hearing that he's near the move to Fiorentina after going on the sabbatical. Probably he didn't get any teams to sign him due to his high wages. We're hearing that he's lowered his wages down to 3 million euros per year. Fiorentina have agreed to sign the Spanish goalkeeper, former Manchester United goalkeeper as well. And Liverpool, what are they basically are saying? That they need a defensive midfielder for them to be able to compete for the Premier League title. And Martin Zubimendi is the prime target of Ancelotti, who is the current manager of Liverpool. These are the chances we'll be talking about here on the Transfer Corner. But then don't forget that we are live on TikTok, so you can share, tap and share. Then also on Facebook, you can share, and then also we are live on YouTube. And I've been joined here by my guest. He's a usual suspect. I'm not going to call him the societal visit. This is a small show. So welcome. He used to be one of the best attackers, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's assume in this modern game, if you're being transferred, what do you think at the age of 23 or 22? What do you think your price tag will be?
Oh, I think it's going to be a world record transfer. I mean, look to it. Sorry,
Pardon me, the guy didn't.
No, if Enzo Fernandez is going for 150 million, yeah. In my prime, if I were to be like 22 million, you are sure
looking at your attributes, your qualities.
Yes, I mean, I've got pace,
forward,
I've got pace, I've got movement, I've got dribbling, goal scoring.
Into channels, you run behind defensive
line.
line.
You know the funny thing, I could give you like 25, 30 goals a season. So
that's just goals, not assists. And how many assists?
Just goals, like 10
assists. So that's almost 40.
I tell you, my brother. So probably 150, 160.
That's a world class player. World class numbers. Welcome to the show. Let's begin with the Chelsea Atletico Madrid. I don't know. It looks like they've been having some conversations in the last couple of days. We've heard that Samu Omorodion will be signing for Chelsea for 7 years and a fee of £35 million. And then Conor Gallagher, who was the captain of Chelsea just last season, has been forced out of the club. But we are hearing that he says he's not going to play in the club anymore. Chelsea don't even need him anymore. And he's moved to Atletico Madrid. Now, let's just look at these two transfers. First, Conor Gallagher. Do you think it's a good signing for Atletico Madrid? But in the first place, do you think it was wise for Chelsea to part with their captain?
Well, Jose, I can say confidently that this is one of the most serious indictments on the Chelsea hierarchy. In all their public shame, in all their incongruous purchases, I think that this is one of the decisions that is going to work against the team. This season and the seasons to follow, because for the past 2 seasons, Conor Gallagher has been one of the best players for Chelsea. Even when they brought in 2 of the most expensive buys in the history of the English Premiership, it was Conor Gallagher who held the fort. It was Conor Gallagher who became the captain when the James was not available. And last season, he practically started 36 matches out of 38. And so that should tell you that this is a player that has given you what momentum. This is a player that has given you what dependability, right? He was part of the English squad that went to the finals of the European Championship. So, on what basis then you force such a player out? On what basis? I really do not understand. If you are going for a quality that is way above that of Conor Gallagher, I would understand. But here you are going for a 19-year-old, or was it Samuel, who at the highest level has no experience. Do you understand? It is not a like for like replacement, but at the end of the day, ask yourself, you are losing an experienced Chelsea player to the core. He's been part of the Chelsea setup for 16 years. You understand? These are the people that are the fabric of Chelsea. These are the people with him and then Chalobah and the recipients. These are the representatives of Chelsea. When we say Chelsea true and true, these are the people who have held the fort since when what's the name? John Terry retired. These are the people who were brought into the squad, right? With Mr. Mount. And Mr. Mount has been allowed to go. Fine, no problem. But this is somebody who was willing to stay. All these pounds were that just gave him what you were paying Enzo Fernandez. Moses, I said, I get it, because you need to show that parity, you need to show that what this is a player that you have so much confidence in. How do you do that if the parity in terms of pay is vast? And last season, I can tell you for a fact that he held the fort, he was there 24/7. So I can confidently say that Chelsea has done a really, really bad decision, has done a really, really bad move, and it's going to affect the squad in the upcoming season.
Right, but talking about Chelsea shooting themselves in the foot, allowing their captain, who is very, very young, 3-4 years, captain the club, and he did so professionally. You know, he played everything, 5 goals, 7 assists. Leave, and they bring in another youngster in Samu Omorodion for £35 million on a 7-year contract. Do you think Chelsea are actually doing business, but they're doing football?
They are doing business. You know, last season I did indicate, part of the start of the season, that it's going to be very difficult for Chelsea to even get into the Europa League places, right? Because there's a stark difference between what the Chelsea hierarchy now are doing and what the Chelsea hierarchy then did under Roman Abramovich, right? Todd Boehly has come in and is purely looking at the next 4 or 5 years, where these players are going to get mature, and it's going to transfer them for bigger sums, right? But as an entity, do you want a Chelsea club that for the past 24 years have been the biggest in England and one of the biggest in Europe when it comes to winning trophies? Do you want to turn them into an Arsenal who is only interested in being a Champions League qualifying region, or who is just interested in selling players? I get the point. So you see, it's going to come back and then bite you, because prior to 2005, the last time Chelsea won the EPL was in 1950. You understand? So it's Todd Boehly trying to take Chelsea back to the 1950s, where we were only interested in building players. Because look at what Man City is doing. Look at what Arsenal is doing. Look at what Real Madrid is doing. And these are the people we are competing with in terms of winning Champions League, in terms of winning leagues. Yeah. And these are people going out and they're buying experience. Real Madrid is buying embark. Real Madrid is buying players who are going to push them to the next level. And don't forget, they have just won the double. Right? They just won the Champions League. And then the Spanish La Liga. And they are still strengthening. You were I think 6 or so 7 in the just ended season. And instead of strengthening, you are buying inexperienced players who lack the experience, players who lack the ability to withstand pressure. So the question then is that, what is the time span or the lifespan of this project? Because already 2-3 years is gone. So what time scale are we looking at? When the Abramovich came in 2004-2005, the topmost priority was to win. He went in and he brought the creme de la creme of the players around the globe. And what did happen? They went out and won. They were able to break the dominance of Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester United. They became the dominant force in England and then in Europe. But what do we see currently? They're just splashing the money on players that do not really even think that they want half of the money that they'll be able to spend. So to me, I can say that yes, they are doing business, but even that business, what shows that what in the next couple of years, the players that they are buying at exorbitant players, at exorbitant prices, are going to come good so that they can make profit on them.
All right. Fair enough in the Chelsea story. Let's look at another Premier League side, Manchester City. They have one of the best strikers in world football currently, but there's another prospect on the bench who has been crying, wailing for game time. In fact, in big games, and that's Julian Alvarez. who has won the Champions League, and he's won the Copa America with Argentina. And recently, he was also a starter when Argentina won the World Cup in Qatar, in 2022. Now, the argument is that he's not getting enough game time. He's not playing in big games, and he has forced his way out of Chelsea. He's going to play under a compatriot at Atletico Madrid and Diego Simeone. Do you think it was okay leaving City after winning everything to join Atletico Madrid? And on a personal scale, do you think that's the best choice for the 24-year-old?
Fantastic decision on both sides. You understand? I mean, as a player and as a club, it's a decision that I can say confidently that it's positive for both Julian Alvarez and the Man City, and then for Atletico Madrid, because they have just lost Alvaro Morata. So currently, they do not have any senior striker in the team. What did they do? They went in for a striker who is up there, but not up there, because Julian Alvarez is just a notch below Erling Haaland, right? So at the end of the day, you ask yourself, why is he wanting to move? He wants to move because what? He thinks that he's a big enough player to challenging Erling Haaland for the striker bench at Man City, and he knows no matter what happens, Erling Haaland is going to be in the sport, right? So what did he do? He forced a move. That is what a player must do. That is what a player with confidence must do. Because if you believe in yourself that you're in the Manchester City team who has just won the Champions League 2 years ago, they won the EPL 4 times on the trot, right? They won a host of trophies. And you just don't want to be a squad player. You want to be the man fronting the attack. And you have so much confidence in your ability that you think that you are better or you are at par with Erling Haaland. So far, the biggest or the best striker when it comes to you, when it comes to the data, right? So it just tells you that what, on the personal level, he has so much ambition. And don't forget that he plays for the Argentine national team. And for you to be a starter on the Argentine national team, you have to hold a regular bet at your club side. So he has that intention of becoming the striker or becoming the foremost striker for Argentine national team. And what is going to happen is that when he moves to Atletico Madrid, he's going to be that person. He's going to be trusted without a position. And I can promise you that he's going to do well. In that, the few chances that he's been given to prove himself at Manchester City, he's been able to what? To acquit himself very well. So now that he's going to be given the mandate, the mantle to become the foremost striker, to become the person that the team is going to depend on. Because remember that the bet is gone. Griezmann is not as effective as it used to be. So now the team is going to be built around Julian Alvarez, and he's going to do well if he's able to keep that momentum that he's taking from Manchester City. On the side of Manchester City, I can say that is more than 1,000% profit, right? Because they bought Julian Alvarez from Manchester for 14 million pounds, right? And they've been able to sell it for close to 90 million pounds. Yeah. Fantastic business. That's why I didn't say that was from the 3 angles is one of the most insanely positive transfers over the past couple of years. Because here, all the 3 teams or all the 3 parties involved are all benefiting. Atletico Madrid is benefiting from a young guy, a young striker who's won the Champions League, who's won the EPL, who's won the World Cup, who's won the Copa, who's won the Copa America. It's the full package. And it's not as if he's a big part player in all these trophies that have been won. He was a major part of the trophies that have been won. So all parties are in the positive mood.
Interesting. So all 3 parties stand to gain from this transfer. But there's another Premier League side. I don't know, but the Premier League teams, this transfer window have been strategic with the signings they're bringing in. Liverpool, some people are saying they're sleeping during the transfer window, but they are on the verge of making one big signing, to a position where they've really been lacking in the last couple of years, even at the Trojan club, and that's the DM position. Since they lost Fabinho, they've had a couple of players playing that position. Besetic, Endo Wataru, you can name them. McAllister has played in there before. Ryan Gravenberch, who soon moved back to Liverpool. Now they're going in for one of the best DMs on defensive midfielders in the La Liga in the last couple of seasons, in Martin Zubimendi. It is just the right time for Liverpool to go into that gap.
Well, you see, the structure at Liverpool is not like it used to be, right? Because for the past 10 years, the structures were being put in place by the club. Now it's unslot, right? So new foundations are being built. And you don't necessarily have to go into the market and then grab every player that you want, like what Chelsea is doing. You have to be strategic, because this is a new coaching setup. this is a new foundation. And you see, moving on from what club has been able to build at Liverpool is going to be a very, very difficult task. So you don't necessarily have to overhaul the whole structures. You have to be tactical, you have to be effective, you have to be mindful of the fact that the whole structure should not be moved. So I can say that yes, since Fabinho was let go, right? They've practically found it difficult to find a replacement because there are certain qualities that you don't necessarily find on the market, or even if you find them on the market, their price tag is so insane that it's going to be practically impossible for you to go out and then buy them because you just realize that Liverpool is not a team that's going to spend close to 80 million, 90 million, 100 million pounds on a couple of players, just like Chelsea is doing. So they have taken their time and they've gone in, they are going in for Zubimendi. Fantastic defensive midfielder. I think nowadays the role of the DM has shifted a bit, right? You don't necessarily have to be all that ball winner or all of a tackler. You need to have different qualities, right? Your skill set must be broader than just winning balls. You need to be able to distribute the ball. You need to be able to keep the ball. You need to be able to calm the team down. You need to be able to drive the team forward. So these are qualities that Zubimendi has in abundance. And remember that he's part of the Spanish setup that are comfortable with the ball, right? And Slot being a Dutch is likely going to prefer keeping the ball. He's not going to go in with a gentle pressing of Jurgen Klopp where they are only interested in counter-attacking. But this is somebody that believes in holding possession. So you need a defensive midfielder in the mood of a Sergio Busquets, in the mood of a Xabi Alonso, who can understand the text and then hold the ball. And that is exactly what Zubimendi brings. So I can confidently say that it is a good move, and should they be able to get a player to sign the dotted lines, it's going to be a fantastic move, both for the player and for Liverpool. Because Liverpool, no matter the state they find themselves in, is one of the biggest clubs in Europe. And it is impossible for you to tell Liverpool down. And if they come in for you and you believe, and see the funny thing is that it's not going to come and then be competing with somebody else. He comes and then overseas
he was straight into the team.
Yeah, he walks straight into the team. So what is fantastic and better than walking into the overseas position of Liverpool?
Wow. All right. So it's the Almeida transfer corner where we're talking about the latest big transfers in Europe. We've already discussed that switch between Atletico Madrid and also Chelsea, where Conor Gallagher has left for the Madrid capital and then we also the Spanish capital, that's Madrid. He's joining Atletico Madrid, not the Los Blancos. But then also we see the young Samu Omorodion also moving the other way around. Julian Alvarez was on the verge of signing for Atletico Madrid. They have made themselves pretty big signings, if you should ask me. And then also we are talking about Liverpool trying to fill that void left by Fabinho a couple of years ago. They're still struggling. About 5 or 6 players have played in that position in the last 2 seasons, but this time they have found a perfect player to fill that void. But lastly, there's news about David here. There's one of the best goalkeepers the Premier League has ever seen. He's been at home for a season, and all of a sudden we're hearing it's Fiorentina. Quickly on that one, is it a good move for the goalkeeper? You think Fiorentina is the right place to revive that? I don't know, that lost career.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a lost career, but I would say that it's a bad decision for him to have, worked off the game for a year. I mean, last year when Onana was brought in, it was let's go. It wasn't because he didn't have offers. It was because the wages that was demanded were so high that it was demanding close to £350,000 per week, and that's at the highest level. There are just a couple of teams that would be willing to offer that, and these are teams that are not going to be willing to offer that to a goalkeeper. You understand? If you're one of the best strikers in the world, yes, you can go for that amount. One of the best midfielders, you can go for that amount. One of the best defenders, you can go for that amount. But he was coming to the tail end of his Manchester United career, and he was on a block. I mean, a huge sum of money. And at that time, the only club that could have been able to afford were the clubs in Saudi Arabia. And he didn't want to move to Saudi Arabia. Then why don't you just lower your demands a bit? He said no, he stuck to that. So a year has gone, right? He now realizes his mistake. He's moved to Fiorentina. I can say that is a stark decline, right? From Manchester United to Fiorentina, it's a stark decline. But I do not know what his advisors after leaving. Fiorentina is a big club in Italy, but over the past 25 years, they've not had a show. They've not come close to winning the Scudetto. They've not come close to challenging for any meaningful cup. So at the end of the day, what is he going to Fiorentina to achieve? Because as at last season, there were clubs that were at the top of the hierarchy who were ready to sign him. You know, so I don't know the dynamics that have changed. I don't know the reasons for which he is going to sign for Fiorentina. But at the end of the day, it is good to see him back doing what he does. It's good to see him back playing football. That is the most important. So he might have realized that, okay, I have wasted a year. So let me just go for a club that is going to give me the opportunity to play football again.
Okay. All right, so I'll be the transfer corner, like I said, and sorry about that. I can see quite a number of people have joined the conversation already on TikTok. We are not only live on TikTok, we are also live on YouTube as well as Facebook. But you can also drop your comment because we are switching straight to the preview of the 2024-2025 season. We're talking about two major leagues in Europe, and we'll start with the Premier League, where last season we saw Manchester City, actually dominate the league again for the fourth time in a row. It's unprecedented. No team in the Premier League era has won the league 4 times, and they did it. And Guardiola. Arsenal came second, just 2 points, accurate winners Manchester City. But they're also saying that they're just not taking their foot off the pedal. That's the way to keep on gassing and try to chase City down. Liverpool, they were part of that 3-horse race, at some point, but after some poor run of form, they dropped to 10th, and there was Aston Villa as well. But we'll be looking at this season. We'll just look at it into perspective to see which teams you think are likely to challenge for the Champions League. Sorry, for the Premier League again, because we are seeing the signings. Manchester United are also there. After placing signing, they won the FA Cup. They'll be playing the Europa League. But first, it could be a very, very competitive Premier League season again, I guess.
It's going to be more competitive than last season, because last season I did predict that Arsenal was going to cause an upset, but what went against them once again was the lack of experience. Yeah. Because I thought that having challenged Man City the past 2 seasons, the previous season, last season was the exact platform that was the most positive platform for them to take it a notch higher. Yeah. But at the tail end of the season, they faltered again. Yeah. But this season, I can say confidently that what Arteta is trying to build a squad that not necessarily technical good, but they've got mental fortitude. They've got that mental strength to challenge City to the death. And this season, I can confidently say that it's still going to be Man City and then Arsenal.
And you think it's going to be a 2-horse race?
It is still going to be a 2-horse race. Because you see, the people that I was expecting that were going to do some fantastic signings to challenge Man City and Arsenal are signing players that I do not know whether they have the temerity, whether they have the character to be in fights. And the other is that Man United, Ten Hag has been told not to necessarily focus on winning the league. You understand? So they are out of competition even before the league starts, because he's been told, don't worry about winning the league. Chelsea, I would be surprised should Chelsea get a European berth. I tell you for a fact. Liverpool, I do not see them challenging. I do not see Liverpool challenging. So the 3 big clubs in England are out. What's the name? Manchester United are out. Chelsea is out. Liverpool is out. So now the only competitive team that I can say that can push these teams a bit further is Tottenham Hotspur, right? Because what's the name? Their coach Postecoglou last season was fantastic. Just that he got certain decisions wrong. Where he needed to be a bit defensive, he wanted to be that positive and stuff. You see, he does not appreciate defensive football. I understand that perfectly. But when you need the point, it is better for you to get a point rather than trying to impress an attacking football. That is what might negate their progress this season. But it's able to get a fine balance between attack and defense. And then realize that you don't necessarily have to attack for 90 minutes. You don't necessarily have to attack for the whole 38 games, the whole season. Then it's going to end his scores. But truthfully saying, I can say that it's going to be Arsenal and Man City.
Wow. All right. So that's what we are going to do. We are previewing the 2024-25 season. First, what will be your ideal top four at the end of the season in that order? Yeah.
Well, I think it's going to be Arsenal.
Do you think Arsenal are going to win the
Yes,
league
Arsenal will be
without
winning.
a recognizable number 9, a clinical number 9?
It is not the fact that they don't have a recognizable number 9 last season that they fought. It was lack of experience. You understand? Because last season, defensively, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I get to the point. They were not able to kill off games. Not because they lacked strikers. They created all the chances. You understand? And then you see, the chances were across the field. It's not as if it's coming for just their attacking midfielders or just what the arrow there. The chances were spread. So if they are able to address that fact, then I think that they're going to go over the line this time around. And then Man City is going to run them close. You know, the reason I'm saying Man City is going to run them close is the fact that they won the league 4 times consecutively.
Yeah.
Unprecedented in the history of the EPL. Are they going to have the same motivation to go out there? You understand? Yes, it is Pep Guardiola. He wants to create something that is going to be very difficult for anybody to challenge in the next couple of years. Because proud to him, Alex Ferguson has won the EPL 3 times consecutively. He has broken that record. He matched it, he broke it, he's made it 4. Will he want to make it 5? Has he got the hunger? Has he got the mental fortitude to go all out again? Because Jurgen Klopp said that he was tired. So is he also tired, but he doesn't want to admit it? I get the point. So I don't know whether he has it to challenge at the highest level again. So I'm going to say that they're going to go second. Then probably Tottenham third. You understand? Because I believe that Tottenham
Ahead of Manchester United.
of course.
Chelsea.
I already indicated that Chelsea qualified for Europe, being the Champions League, the Europa League, or the Conference League. I'm going to be very, very surprised. Yes, and I mean, I'm a dying old Chelsea fan. You know, I'm 25 years supporting Chelsea, but I do not see that the project is heading in the right direction.
Wow.
So then the fourth that I would like to go for Aston Villa. Yeah.
All right, so that's with it with the Premier League. But who do you think will end up as a top scorer in the Premier League?
I think it's still going to be Erling Haaland.
So he's going for
Yes, of course.
goal in
He's got no challenger. He's got absolutely nobody who's going to match his goal scoring record. And should he be fit, I can tell you for a fact that he's going to go for 40 goals.
Those are words of Atika Boniface. Don't worry. All right, so we just I'm usually escape. Right. Those are not forwards.
Oh no, but he's going to go for 40.
All right, let's move straight to the La Liga. Where last season, at some point, everyone thought Girona would be that surprise package, dark horses. But unfortunately, they fought it along the line. It was Madrid, and then Barcelona 1-2, Girona 3, and then Atletico Madrid 4. We've seen Atletico Madrid silence. We've seen them win in the last 20 years. They've been the only side aside Real Madrid and Barcelona to win the La Liga trophy at Diego Simeone. You think it's going to be a 2-horse race in the La Liga, or you think we should watch out for either Atletico Madrid or Girona?
Well, what Girona did last season is not going to repeat itself again. Yeah? So it's just a 9-day wonder, right? Because even last season, anybody who thought or thought that Girona was going to be the Spanish La Liga was dreaming.
Now, whatever they were doing was akin to what Leicester did a couple of years.
Oh, yes, but you see, what they did is totally different from what Leicester was able to do. You understand? Because Leicester did not start the season like Girona did. You understand? I mean, Leicester came into the season like a couple of matches into the season, right? But from start, Girona were up there challenging Real Madrid and Barcelona. But what I want to say is that the spectacle they created last season is not going to repeat itself this season.
Okay.
The only team that has any chance of running Real Madrid and Barcelona close is Atletico Madrid. Even Real Madrid, even Barcelona, I doubt they have the capacity. I doubt they have the squad depth. I doubt they have the technical capabilities to challenge Real Madrid. Because you see, Real Madrid last season was fantastic. They won the league, they won the Champions League, and they have strengthened. They've gotten the best player in the world, actually, right? In what's the name? Kylian Mbappe. So are you telling me that a team that has destroyed the park last season having gone having gone ahead to strengthen, bringing in the best player arguably in the world, is going to be challenged by the Barcelona squad that last season were not able to be competitive and who has not been able to augment their squad. If you look at the comparative analysis, you realize that Barcelona, by what they are doing this season, they don't have the right or they don't have what it takes to challenge Real Madrid. I'm being sincere to you. If you look at what is happening currently, based on players that have been able to sign, or based on players that they have been able to sign, I can say, because all the players that Madrid had last season, only Marcelo is gone, and then Nacho is gone. But the core of the team is still there. Rudiger is there. Carvajal is there. Vinicius is there. Fantastic player. He's taken last season's form into this season. Rodrigo is still there. And they've augmented an attack with two of the best players in the world. What's the name again? Kylian Mbappe. And then Endrick. Right? The most talented and the 19th player in the world. So I can say that if it is Real Madrid's season to lose it. If not, there's absolutely nobody in the chasing path who is going to overhaul it.
So you give me your top 4.
This is easy. It's going to be Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and then Atletico Bilbao.
You're going for Bilbao?
Yes.
You're not talking about Real Sociedad. They were also.
Last season, Atletico Bilbao nearly slipped into the Champions League places, right? Just that at the tail end of the season, they fought a bit. Yeah. So if they're able to keep the momentum, and you see, the funny thing is that they've been able to keep what's the name? Nico Williams. Nico Williams was practically their biggest star last season. And if they had sold him to Barcelona, then I would say that then they're going to struggle a bit. But they've been able to keep him and his brother, and they've kept the majority of their squad that did fantastic last season. So yes, I can confidently say that they're going to go a step further in qualifying for the Champions League.
The top scorer.
The top scorer should be Kylian Mbappe.
Sorry for that. I don't know if you signed with him, but Kylian Mbappe has joined Real Madrid. It's official, and now we are just previewing the top 2 leagues in Europe currently. The Spanish Liga, where he thinks false things that Real Madrid will still reign supreme. But in England, he feels this year should be Arsenal's year. So if you're an Arsenal fan, you really think this is the year that Arsenal would lift the trophy or the Premier League title for the first time in over 20 years. They've not done so since the last went unbeaten throughout the season. And one of the legendary managers of all time, that's Arsene Wenger, and he also feels that Erling Haaland should stay fit for maybe close to 35 starts, 40 and 38 starts in the Premier League. He could even bring the 40-goal mark and set a new Premier League record. He has the currently he has set the record for the most goals in the Premier League season with 36, and he also believes that Kylian Mbappe, who is currently a Real Madrid player, would be the top scorer in the Spanish Liga. Thanks so much for having me first. It's been an eventful show, but don't forget to follow us. We are on TikTok. We are live on TikTok as well as YouTube, and then also on Facebook. So you can follow us across all social media platforms. But don't forget also that we'll be sharing our FPL code. So if you're a fan of Fantasy Premier League, then you are welcome to play in our mini league, where the winner at the end of the season will be given a souvenir. And our media, so everything made from our media, you will have some memorabilia to flex with. So in our subsequent editions, we'll be coming live and I'll share the code with you. And definitely there'll be a video show where you also get to join the conversation. It's been nice having you. Don't forget to subscribe and then also comment or leave the comments in the comment section. Thanks and have a good night. Bye.
But next season, the battery will drop. Like, you will see the battery. Yes,
I can go home.
How much is that?
The pop finish.
Yeah, you finished.
The time was so long. Tell me about one first.
I don't know.